Have you ever wondered why some people are quietly getting richer in real estate without buying expensive homes, dealing with nightmare tenants, or taking massive mortgage risks? What if I told you that one of the biggest opportunities in America right now isn't buying a house at all? It's buying land. And here's the shocking part. Many people still think land investing is only for millionaires, developers, or giant corporations, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Across the United States, ordinary people are buying affordable land for prices lower than a used car, holding it, flipping it, renting it, or preparing for future growth while everyone else keeps fighting over overpriced houses. So why are smart investors quietly buying land while most people ignore it? And more importantly, how can you buy land easily and cheaply without making expensive mistakes? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why land may be one of the smartest real estate opportunities today. When most people think about real estate, they instantly imagine houses, apartments, or luxury buildings. But land is different. Land doesn't leak. It doesn't need a new roof. No broken plumbing, no late-night tenant calls, no expensive repairs. You buy it, own it, and often wait while cities expand, populations grow, and demand slowly catches up. Think about this. Nobody is making more land. As cities become crowded and housing affordability becomes a bigger crisis, undeveloped land in growing areas can suddenly become incredibly valuable. But here's where things get interesting. Many affordable land opportunities still exist across America, especially in developing regions where population growth and infrastructure are changing entire markets. States like Texas, Arizona, Florida, and parts of the Midwest have attracted attention because investors believe growth could eventually increase land values over time. But before you rush to buy random cheap property online, there's something extremely important you need to understand. Cheap land can either become an amazing opportunity or an expensive trap, and this is where beginners make massive mistakes. Imagine seeing a piece of land online for only $2,000. Sounds incredible, right? You think, why not? It's cheap. But then you discover there's no road access, no electricity, no water, terrible zoning restrictions, flood risks, or legal issues attached to the property. Suddenly, your dream investment becomes a giant headache. That's why smart land buyers don't just ask, how cheap is it? They ask, why is it cheap? That single question can save you thousands of dollars. So how do experienced buyers find affordable land opportunities? First, they look where growth is happening, not where hype already exploded. One of the biggest mistakes new investors make is chasing markets after prices already skyrocketed. Instead, smart buyers study migration trends, job growth, transportation projects, infrastructure expansion, and future development. When new highways, factories, business districts, or housing demand enter an area, land values can slowly begin changing. That's why research matters more than emotion. Some investors spend hours studying county development plans, local growth patterns, and population changes before spending even $1. Another reason land investing attracts attention is affordability. Let's be honest, buying a house in many parts of America feels impossible right now. High mortgage rates, rising home prices, insurance costs, taxes, and maintenance expenses scare many buyers away. But land, sometimes you can buy smaller parcels for dramatically lower prices, depending on location. In some cases, sellers even offer owner financing, meaning buyers can make monthly payments instead of taking traditional bank loans. Imagine buying land with lower upfront costs while building an asset for the future. Sounds exciting, right? But here comes another twist most people never talk about. Land investing is not always fast money. This is where unrealistic expectations destroy beginners. Social media often makes it sound like you buy cheap land today and magically become rich tomorrow. Reality works differently. Sometimes land takes years to appreciate. Sometimes development happens slower than expected. And sometimes nothing changes for a very long time. Patience becomes one of the biggest skills in successful land investing. The people who often succeed are those who think long-term instead of chasing overnight profits. But if patience matters, then why are investors still excited about land? Because land gives options. You can hold it for appreciation, sell it later, lease it, use it recreationally, build on it someday, or package it creatively for resale. Some investors even buy neglected parcels, clean paperwork problems, improve access, then sell to another buyer at a profit. Others focus on camping land, agricultural opportunities, tiny home demand, or suburban expansion areas. In other words, land can become flexible depending on location and strategy. Yet this flexibility creates another danger: buying emotionally instead of strategically. Let's say you find beautiful desert land with amazing mountain views. You fall in love instantly. But then you realize nobody wants to build there, there's limited demand, and resale becomes difficult. Beauty alone doesn't guarantee profit. Smart buyers focus on demand, access, legal use, utilities, surrounding development, taxes, and future possibilities before excitement takes over. And if there's one thing that separates successful land buyers from beginners, it's due diligence. That phrase may sound boring, but it could protect your money more than anything else. Before buying land, experienced investors check zoning laws, property taxes, flood zones, environmental restrictions, road access, survey details, utility availability, and county regulations. Skipping this step is like buying a mystery box with your savings inside. You might get lucky, or you might regret it for years. Another interesting trend happening right now is changing lifestyle preferences. After years of crowded cities, remote work growth, and affordability struggles, some Americans have shown more interest in rural or semi-rural living opportunities. Larger lots, privacy, lower costs, and flexible lifestyles appeal to certain buyers. This shift has created interest in land markets that many people previously ignored. But remember, trends change. What looks exciting today may slow tomorrow. That's why long-term thinking matters more than hype. So where exactly do people search for affordable land? Many start by researching county tax sales, vacant land listings, local real estate networks, owner-financed properties, or rural markets outside major cities. Others contact local agents specializing in land instead of traditional homes. And surprisingly, some opportunities come directly from owners motivated to sell properties they no longer want. But no matter where you search, discipline matters more than excitement. Never buy simply because a deal feels cheap. Cheap compared to what? Cheap with what risks? Cheap with what future potential? Those questions matter. Now here's a powerful mindset shift most people overlook. Land investing is often less about today and more about tomorrow. Imagine buying property near an area expected to grow over 10 or 15 years. At first, nothing looks exciting. Empty roads, quiet surroundings, no major buzz. But over time, businesses arrive, homes expand outward, demand changes. Suddenly, land once ignored becomes attractive. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, which is exactly why research matters so much. But the possibility of buying early is what excites many investors. And here's something else beginners underestimate. Small wins matter. You don't need to buy hundreds of acres or become a giant developer. Some investors start with modest parcels simply to learn the process, understand markets, and avoid huge mistakes early on. Learning while risking smaller amounts can sometimes be smarter than chasing giant dreams immediately. At the same time, you should never invest money you can't afford to lock away for a while. Land is not always liquid. Selling may take time depending on demand and location. That means emergency money should stay separate from speculative investing. Smart investing means protecting yourself while creating opportunity. So is buying land easy and cheap? Sometimes yes, but only if you understand what easy and cheap really mean. Easy doesn't mean effortless. Cheap doesn't mean valuable. The smartest buyers combine patience, research, discipline, and realistic expectations. They avoid emotional purchases, ask hard questions, and think years ahead instead of days ahead. And maybe that's the biggest lesson here. While everyone chases flashy investments, expensive houses, and overnight success stories, some people quietly buy overlooked opportunities, hold them patiently, and position themselves for the future. The question is, will land become one of the biggest hidden opportunities of the next decade, or just another misunderstood asset most people ignore? And if affordable land is sitting out there right now, waiting for smart buyers to notice it before everyone else, would you know how to spot the opportunity before everyone else does? Let me know in the comments. Would you buy land, or do you think homes are still the better investment? And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we break down the biggest real estate opportunities, hidden risks, and money trends shaping America's future.